last point of news, speaking of covering a multitude of sins, Jalen Ramsey, we talk about the secondary a lot, and that was your specialty when you were early on as a scout. Like, I look at this Miami defense and this Miami team in general. You're in a division with Buffalo. You're in a division with New York with Aaron Rodgers now. You can't forget about New England, a good football team, brought Bill O'Brien in to call plays. Your defense was supposed to be one of the better in football, but it was built around a player in Jalen Ramsey who made everybody better. Jalen Ramsey tears his patella tendon, his meniscus, and now he's out till December. That leaves them a little short at corner. That puts a lot of pressure on everybody, right? And that's the thing about superstar players, is that they're these pillars on your team, that the phrase that you use, but when they go down, it makes everybody else's job harder.
Well, Vic Fangio, right? They bring in Vic. They think Vic is going to be the dude that's going to bring them and resurrect whatever. Who was their D coordinator last year?
Josh Boyer, I think.
Josh Boyer. I think you're right. Well, when you think about Vic Fangio coming in and having the right people around him, of course he's a very good defensive coach and coordinator, and the expectations are high. You bring in Ramsey again, thinking, some people were throwing darts at Les, for moving him. What do they know about him? There are certain elements of Ramsey that obviously is awesome and are great. And there are other elements that they know. You're not getting rid of your free agents that are studs, not just for money. Like, that has to be well worth your money to keep them, of course. So they move them to Miami, and the expectations are high. When I was reading today about the guys that were thinking about backing him up, they're guys that I'm not that quite that comfortable with saying that I've evaluated them. And again, that's how he's supposed to be out until the beginning, or what, till December?
Yeah. So December, right. And so they brought in Eli Apple. Eli Apple has been a serviceable player after being a first-round pick, but is not, he's available for a reason. Noah Igbenogany was a first-round pick 1 year where they had 3 first-round picks. He's mostly struggled since going in. Xavier Howard is a real corner in the NFL, a good player, but a streaky guy. And they got this guy named Javon Holland who plays safety, who's very good at kind of that slot and safety position. So he can cover a little bit of that. But what Ramsey did so well was he was like Charles Woodson, right? Like when Charles Woodson was in Green Bay, he did everything, right? He played in the nickel, he blitzed, he manned up on tight ends when the tight end was good. He played outside when the guy was an alpha on the outside. He did so many of those things where there was never a player on the Packers defense back then. Nick Collins, I'm trying to think of some of those other guys. There were never Tramon Williams. There were never players. They always shined because they never had to do anything they were bad at. And I think that's kind of what the Woodsons, the Derwin Jameses, the Ramseys do for a defense. And so I think that there are going to be at times situations for this defense where it's Xavier Howard's going to struggle a little bit because he's on a number one. Or, Javon Holland's not going to be able to blitz as much. He's not going to be able to add as much value. Beat Gamer 99 says, Xavier Howard, I feel, has declined since he was really good, a few years ago. That's true, but cornerback play is streaky. So hopefully he can, for the Dolphins' sake, evolve. It's your point about Fangio. Fangio is a guy as a force multiplier, as a play caller. He can get the most out of a team. And so I think the Dolphins will be fine, but you're in a conference again where, week 1, you're facing Justin Herbert, right? And then you got Josh Allen twice. You got Aaron Rodgers twice. It's not going to be an easy road for this team.
This is not a small deal. This is a big deal. I don't mean to inflame. It's a big deal. Not just a big deal because you paid the money for him, you brought him in. It's the expectations of that position, like it is a DN, like it is a left tackle, like it is, of course, the quarterback. Those are big moves when those guys go down, or a stud receiver. You're counting on it. All along, you're thinking all in the offseason, man, we are so excited we have Jalen Ramsey to pull us along here. And then, boom, again, Vic's the kind of guy that can make the most out of it. He'll scheme a certain way. He'll get the right person in there, whatever he does, but it's still not Jalen Ramsey's talent. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.